All right, well, Donald Trump has done it. He has invaded Venezuela. He has attacked Venezuela. And so this video is an apology from myself. I can speak for myself, but I also want to speak for the good Christians in the United States of America. To the Venezuelan people, I am very, very sorry. I am disgusted with the actions of my president. I am disgusted with the actions of our military, and I'm disgusted with this war and our self-righteousness in this time of trial where we are all being tested. On behalf of all the good Christians in this country who do try to live their lives as Jesus taught, I'm very, very, very sorry. I don't think it's an accident that during the Christmas holiday, when I saw the evil Christians celebrating Christmas and at the same time having hate in their heart, saying the opposite of what Jesus said, being anti-Christ Christians, when I saw that, I was inspired to start the 12 Days of Christmas series and highlight how Republicans are actually the ones who are at war with Christmas because they are at war with Christ and they are at war with Christ's teachings. The only thing they care about is money, fame, power, and racism. Really, it boils down to racism. There's something, and I'm a white man. There's something in the white race that is fundamentally flawed. And I say this because open a history book. Just open a history book to any page, blindly open a history book, and you're going to see war and hate. You're going to see one side dehumanizing the other and justifying war and murder. And then in the name of Christianity, they're so proud of their Christianity. They're going to wear a cross every day. They're going to go to church every Sunday. They're going to wave the Bible at you every single day, but they're not going to actually do what Christ commanded. They're going to do the opposite. I really feel like white skin makes us more susceptible to sunburn and the whispers of Satan. And it just, again, the history books, it just pans out again and again and again. Look at what the Russians are doing right now. Look at what the Russian pastors and preachers are doing. Look at how they justify war with the Ukrainians. Do you see how dehumanization works? Okay? This is why Jesus said that murder is not just the act itself. It is also the intent. It's also the words. I've already been online this morning, and look, I want to be very clear. I don't serve Satan, okay? I don't work for him, all right? And so I'm not going to do his bidding, and I'm not going to listen to his lies. And so I've gone online, and I've basically been telling people, hey, man, you better get right with Christ, like now, because this is a test, and you're failing that test. And you know what people have said to me? They said, what are you, a narco-terrorist? What are you, a narco-terrorist? You one of those narco-terrorist people? What are you, a communist? You see how this works, right? As soon as you stand up for Jesus, as soon as you stand up for doing the right thing, right? They're going to try to say, oh, well, you're one of them. Us versus them is Satan. That comes from Satan. Don't do it. It's not good for the soul. You will be barbecue for eternity if you engage in dehumanization. Go watch the video that I did, Thou Shalt Not Murder. Thou shalt not kill. In it, we read the words of Jesus Christ and understand that murder begins when you say, those people over there, they're animals. They're scum. They're vermin. Because when you start doing this, you start justifying killing them. Just go read a history book. Look at the number of times that us white people have done this over and over and over again. It's not just us, but we are uniquely susceptible to this. Every history book is just filled with pages of us doing this throughout history. And now, the Prince of Lies, okay, is telling us that these people are bringing drugs into America, and therefore we need to kill them. You know that's a lie. Oh, there may be some drugs coming from Venezuela, but let me tell you something. I'm 56 years old. You know how many times I've heard in the news or in investigative reporting, oh, drug trafficking from Venezuela? Never, ever. This is the first time ever. And then what evidence have they provided? What evidence have they seized? And even if they were bringing drugs into this country, that doesn't deserve the death sentence. It doesn't deserve our military invading their country. If there are some narco-terrorists in Venezuela, those people that you're killing in Venezuela, those mothers, those daughters, those sons, grandparents, those people that are just at home watching TV, not doing anything wrong, that are going to die, you murdered them. If you do not stand up against killing, you have murdered them. You have enabled it. Jesus is very clear on this. It's not just the one who pulls the trigger, it's also the ones who celebrate it. It's the ones who enable it. It's also the people who are apathetic and don't say anything, keep their mouths shut. You are also condemned. What we are looking at right now is an army of the damned. An army of people who are cowards, who know what Jesus said, who know what Jesus commanded, and are going to do the opposite. They're going to listen to Satan instead and do the opposite. The Prince of Lies has already said he's not going to heaven. He knows that. He's going to hell. We know that. You don't have to follow him to hell, okay? You don't have to follow him to hell. That's what Satan wants. Satan put him in this position because he knew that Donald Trump would recruit millions of young men and women to hell. Don't do it. If you're in the U.S. military and they tell you to kill those people, you need to say no. You have that power. You have free will. Even though you've been trained to do whatever they tell you to do, this is a test. If they tell you to kill those people, you need to say no. Even if they throw you out and you get a dishonorable discharge, trust me, that's going to hurt a whole lot less than eternal flames. If you get a chance, go to Austin. Get some barbecue. Get those beef ribs, okay? And then imagine that it's you in that cooker for 16 hours, okay? That might take your appetite away. Don't do it. Look, starting this series and speaking out the way I have, I don't think this was an accident. I think Jesus has asked me to do this. And I think Jesus knows that all of your souls right now are in jeopardy. And you need to do the right thing. You don't have to listen to me. Don't listen to me. Go read the Bible. In particular, pay attention to what Jesus said, because he's God. And God doesn't need a translator. God didn't need old white men who, again, are very susceptible to the whisperings of Satan. He didn't need them 400 years after his death to explain what his words meant, okay? He speaks very plainly. All right, guys, this is a horrible time, but let me tell you something. We can stop this. We can end this by all speaking out. We need to march. There's a No Kings event coming up. You need to go to it. You need to go to it, and you need to speak out and say, hey, I don't support war. You need to say, hey, Donald Trump, you said you were going to be the president of peace. Instead of being the Prince of Peace, you're the Prince of Lies. Don't follow Satan, man. Don't follow Satan. I don't do it. You shouldn't do it. It doesn't end well for your soul. I pray for all of you. God bless.